Sometimes one look feels polite for everyone else and strangely wrong for you. Nothing obvious happens, yet your body reacts before your mind can explain why. A friend answers kindly, but their eyes leave your face a fraction early. Someone smiles at you and the smile lands, but the gaze does not. You keep talking, but part of you has already stepped back inside. You have probably felt this before and dismissed it as overthinking again. But eye contact rarely feels wrong for no reason at all whatsoever. Your brain reads tiny mismatches long before words catch up with them. That is why some conversations look normal on the surface but feel quietly unsafe. And the unsettling part is that people usually hide this from themselves too. Most people think eye contact only means confidence, honesty, attraction, or disrespect. That explanation sounds neat, but human emotion almost never behaves that neatly. Eye contact feels wrong when attention, emotion, and intention stop matching each other. You can feel it instantly, even when the other person says everything right. The eyes do not just look, they reveal what the body cannot coordinate. And once you notice that, many confusing moments in your life start rearranging themselves. Think about the person who holds eye contact just a little too long. Not warm, not flirtatious, not relaxed, just fixed in a strangely effortful way. It can feel powerful, but often it feels more like pressure than presence. That kind of stare is not always dominance, and it is not always confidence. Sometimes it is control covering insecurity, like someone trying not to reveal uncertainty. Sometimes it is attraction mixed with fear, so the gaze becomes intense instead of easy. Sometimes it is guardedness, where the person refuses natural rhythm because natural rhythm exposes vulnerability. When a look stops feeling alive and starts feeling managed, you notice the strain. You are not reacting to eye contact alone, you are reacting to emotional coordination. When coordination breaks, even beautiful manners can feel strangely mechanical to you. You might have seen this in meetings, dates, interviews, even ordinary chats with friends. The words keep moving, but the eyes feel like they are working overtime. That is your first clue that the moment is not as simple as it appears. Now think about someone who seems warm, then looks away the second connection lands. You say something sincere, maybe even vulnerable, and their face softens for a second. Then their eyes drop or move sideways like they touch something emotionally hot. People often call this shyness, but shyness is only one possible layer. Looking away after connection can mean the person felt exposed, affected, or unexpectedly seen. It can happen after a compliment, after kindness, after chemistry, or after being understood. The gaze breaks because the moment became real, and reality raises emotional temperature fast. That tiny withdrawal can feel confusing because the connection was real for a second. Then the person retreats and your body registers loss before your mind names it. This is why some eye contact feels wrong in an almost painful way. It is not always rejection, and it is not always interest either. What feels wrong is often unprocessed feeling leaking into a tiny social moment. Your body usually knows before your mind has built the story around it. Another familiar moment is when someone agrees with you too quickly while barely holding your gaze. Their words sound smooth, but their eyes feel absent for half a beat. You know that strange moment where agreement feels less reassuring than honest hesitation. That usually happens when compliance appears faster than genuine emotional alignment inside. A person may say yes because they want harmony, approval, safety, or speed. But their eyes lag behind because another feeling has not caught up. Maybe they disagree. Maybe they feel pressure. Maybe they fear disappointing you. Maybe they do agree, but not with the certainty their words are pretending. The mismatch is subtle, yet your nervous system hears it like noise. And that noise is often what makes a normal interaction feel slightly unreal. Fast agreement often hides a social trade, not a genuine settled feeling. The person may be buying peace while silently spending authenticity inside themselves. Then there's the opposite problem, when someone barely looks at you at all. Not because they are rude, but because something inside them is bracing. Some people avoid eye contact when they feel judged, cornered, attracted, ashamed, or overwhelmed. The eyes move away to reduce intensity, like opening a window in a hot room. You might read that as dishonesty, but often it is emotional self-protection. The person is not always hiding information, they may be hiding impact. That distinction matters more than most people realize in real life anyway. Because once you confuse discomfort with deception, you start misreading everyone around you. Eye contact becomes useful when you stop treating it like a fixed code. It is not a lie detector, and it is not a truth detector. It is a live signal of regulation, tension, closeness, and internal conflict. And the meaning changes depending on timing, context, and what the rest of the face is doing. Context changes everything because the same look means different things in love and threat. An intimate pause can resemble a threatening pause until the rest of the body clarifies it. Timing matters more than intensity, which is where many people get fooled. A long gaze can feel intimate, threatening, blank, desperate, or defensive depending on when it happens. A quick look away can signal disinterest, or it can signal emotional overflow. The key is what happens directly before and directly after the eye movement. That small sequence tells you more than the look itself ever could. For example, notice the strange pause before someone answers a simple personal question. If the pause comes first, the eye movement may be part of inner searching. If the eye movement comes first, the person may be regulating what they reveal. Those are different tensions, and they feel different once you learn the contrast. One is reaching inward, and one is managing outward impression for you. The same thing happens with smiles that arrive without the eyes joining them. A person can sound warm, speak warmly, even lean in, yet look emotionally absent. That does not always mean manipulation, but it often means division inside them. One part wants connection, while another part is pulling the emergency brake. You feel the split because humans are built to register split signals. It lands as unease even when nothing dramatic has actually happened yet. You leave those interactions thinking nothing happened, yet your energy says something absolutely did. That is often the cost of staying inside mixed signals too long. That is why a perfectly polite interaction can leave you strangely drained. You were not reacting to one look, you were carrying unresolved signal conflict. The body hates ambiguity when closeness, safety, or status are involved socially. So it starts predicting, scanning, and bracing, even if your mind stays polite. This becomes even clearer in attraction, where eye contact often carries mixed motives. Someone wants to be seen, but they also fear what being seen could trigger. So they look, then pull back, then look again, then act normal. That rhythm can feel magnetic and unsettling at the same time somehow. You can feel interest there, but you can also feel conflict wrapped around it. And conflict is often what makes eye contact feel wrong instead of simply strong. Attraction without ease can feel electric, because desire and self-protection are pulling opposite directions. The eyes become the battlefield where both motives briefly show at once. The same pattern appears in shame, especially when someone wants connection but cannot receive it. You compliment them, and something flickers across the face before they recover. Their eyes may narrow, drop, freeze, or dart away too quickly afterward. That micro-reaction is not vanity or rudeness, it may be self-protection. Being seen kindly can hurt when someone does not feel safely lovable. So the gaze breaks not because they reject you, but because acceptance burns. Once you understand that, eye contact stops being just social technique altogether. It becomes a map of where emotion and self-control are colliding inside. And that collision is often what you feel as wrongness in people. Most misread eye contact by focusing on bravery, when the real story is regulation. Can this person stay emotionally present, or are they slipping into protection? So what should you notice next time, instead of just trusting the discomfort alone? First, watch the timing between emotion and eye movement, not the eye movement by itself. Did the eyes shift right after warmth, right after tension, or right before an answer? That sequence shows whether the person is opening, retreating, filtering, or bracing. Second, look for mismatch between eyes, mouth, and the rest of the face. A smile with guarded eyes means something different from relaxed eyes and a neutral mouth. Warm words with a cold face tell a different story from awkward words with soft eyes. One signals distance being covered, and the other signals closeness struggling to emerge. Third, notice what happens immediately after the eye contact breaks or intensifies. Does the person rush to speak, touch their face, over-explain, laugh, or go still. Those follow-up behaviors often reveal whether the moment created fear, desire, shame, or defensiveness. Even a tiny throat swallow or lip press can change the meaning completely. Small body repairs often appear when someone is trying to recover internal balance. The eyes may start the story, but the body usually finishes it. And when you read the sequence, the whole interaction becomes less mysterious. You stop asking, why did they look away, and start asking, away from what? You stop asking, why did that stare feel intense, and start asking, what was it holding together? That shift makes you observant without becoming paranoid, which is a rare skill. Because the goal is not to decode people with certainty all day. The goal is to notice where something does not emotionally line up. That is enough to make wiser choices about trust, closeness, and conversation. Sometimes wrong eye contact is a warning, and you should respect it. Sometimes it is vulnerability passing through another person before they can manage it. Sometimes it is attraction fighting fear, or kindness colliding with shame inside. And sometimes it is your own history reacting to signals that resemble older pain. That matters too, because not every uneasy feeling belongs entirely to the other person. But even then, your discomfort is still useful data, not useless drama. Better observation does not make you colder, it makes you more accurate and compassionate. You become slower to accuse, but quicker to notice where honesty is struggling. That balance is what keeps sensitivity from turning into suspicion too easily. It tells you that something in the exchange needs slower attention now. The people who understand human behavior best are rarely the loudest judges. They are usually the ones who notice small contradictions without forcing big conclusions. They know a look can mean many things, but never nothing important. That is the deeper truth here. Wrong eye contact is often misaligned emotion becoming visible. It is the crack where hidden feeling briefly reaches the surface outside. And if you learn to notice those cracks, people start making more sense. You stop chasing perfect words and start trusting the pattern underneath them. If you have noticed a moment like this in real life, share it below. And if Novi Mind helps you understand what most people miss, subscribe and stay close. The next video goes deeper into the tiny facial reactions people cannot hide for long.